Welcome to the Glenn Beck program. Now, we have shown you a couple of sound bites over the last week. We want to talk about racism tonight. The first sound bite you've seen if you watch this network from the new Black Panthers. Play this. You've seen this over and over again.
I hate white people. All of them. Every last iota of a cracker, I hate it. Because we're still in this condition, man.
We got it.
You want freedom? You're going to have to kill some crackers. You're going to have to kill some of their babies.
Okay.
Let us get out.
So here you have this. Does this affect your life at all? Well, yes, it's voter intimidation, and we seem to be experiencing a government that doesn't care about racism from these guys. However, if you're watching other networks, you will see now new video of Mel Gibson being a racist. In case you missed it, here it is.
You look like a on heat, and if you get raped by a pack of it'll be your fault, all right? Because you provoked it.
Okay, the guy is, I mean, did we need any more math with Mel Gibson? Mel Gibson is disturbed and a racist. We got it. Now here's the question. If you were watching MSNBC over the weekend, they covered Mel Gibson over and over and over again. We counted 8 times. But they told the Black Panther story not once. Help me out on this. Help me out. Why is the Mel Gibson story that doesn't affect anything but your movie-going experience, why is that news, and yet the Panthers, which involves our republic and the upcoming votes, why does that matter? Oh, and one other story on race that we're going to cover tonight. Tomorrow, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People will offer a resolution to its members condemning what it believes to be rampant racism in the Tea Party movement. Rampant racism. And yet they haven't said anything about the Black Panthers. Help me out on this. Tonight, I'm going to show you why racism in America is real and why it matters. Time to tell the story of America. Hello, America. There is racism in America. It exists. It absolutely exists. Racism is a human disease, not a white disease or a black disease. It's a human disease. It's been going on since the beginning of man. It is our job as humans to cure it in ourselves. Now, I want to start with the Black Panther story, because I get the Mel Gibson story. The guy's a dirtbag. I think I got that the first time. All right, but let's talk about the Panther story, and I want to talk from the beginning, because we're going to lay something out over the next couple of days. Tomorrow is a show that you do not want to miss. Tomorrow is a show that you call your pastors or your priests or your rabbis, call everybody you know. Tomorrow is a show you need to see. Tonight, I'm going to set the table. Let me take you back first to Election Day in 2008. The Black Panthers had a national effort to send out its party members to the polling locations. They called this an election emergency. Okay? Now, 2 of the members were caught on tape at a polling location in Philadelphia in full paramilitary uniforms, and one of them, you can see, is holding a baton. All right? That Panther, his name is King Shamir Shabazz. He was reportedly harassing and intimidating voters and poll workers. Now, this is supposedly an open and shut case, and it was. Bush started the prosecution before the end of his term, but then Obama comes in and decides suddenly in May of 2009 to drop the case. Here's where it gets interesting, because a former DOJ official ends up resigning in protest over the case. He testifies last week about it, and he says there's something really wrong. But then there's another character that you need to know about. His name is Bartell Bull. He's a civil rights lawyer from the 1960s. This guy is not a hardcore Rush Limbaugh fan. He's a former campaign manager for Robert Kennedy. He said, quote, "This is the most blatant form of voter intimidation he had ever seen." Now that's saying something. He's a civil rights attorney from the 60s. Again, not a right-wing Republican shill. Bull also said in his affidavit that the Black Panthers intimidated voters and tried to interfere with the work of other poll observers, telling one, quote, You're about to be ruled by the black man, cracker, end quote. Why is this important? We know that Mel Gibson is a racist. We get it. This actually affects our elections. It affects our democracy and our republic. Here's the problem. The DOJ is not protecting the republic. Last week, we showed you this video of the accused King Shamir Shabazz. It was uncovered that he said these stupid comments about killing white babies.
I hate white people. All of them. Every last iota of a cracker, I hate it.
Okay, we get it.
Because we're still in this country.
If this were done by a white man, if we found one connection anywhere to the DOJ, and it was a white man saying these things about a black man, we should come down like a bag of bricks. This is hatred. This is racism, just as much as what Mel Gibson has done. But this is also inciting. You got to kill him. The guy got less than a slap on the wrist from Obama and his DOJ. Here's what he got. He's not allowed to go to any Philadelphia polling locations until 2012. Gee, what's going on in 2012? Oh, presidential election year. Oh, and he can also still go to other polling locations in other towns. Now, new Black Panther leader Malik Shabazz mocked the outcome. Watch this.
King Shamir can't go back to a polling place until 2012, and I don't believe King Shamir cares whether or not he go back to a polling place into 2012.
Why would he? Despite all of this, there is no interest in this case. There's no interest in this case at all from the administration. There's no call for any comments from this administration. There's no interest in the press about this case, a case that shouldn't have been dropped in the first place. Today, I want to look at the priorities of the president, because actions speak louder than words. Over the next few days, we're going to lay out a case that something is very, very, very wrong. We're going to start with his actions. He talks a good game. But again, your actions speak louder than words. What does he take action on? In Afghanistan, you remember McChrystal came out and he issued a report saying we need more troops in Afghanistan. He did this on August 30th, 2009. It took the president 93 days to decide. That's when he ordered an additional 30,000 troops. The BP oil spill, it took him 57 days before he even met with the CEO. That's nearly 2 months later. Do you remember the underwear bomber? This happened over Christmas. The president didn't even make a formal statement until 2 weeks after the underwear bomber. And then on January 5th, he said, well, the system failed in a potentially disastrous way. Acorn. We have been covering Acorn forever. FBI field office opened up an investigation into Acorn on January 22nd, 2009, 2 days after Obama took office. 2 months later, 60 days later, they closed shop, dropped the investigation. It has been 477 days now. Despite new documents, the videos that you saw on Fox News, no new investigations into Acorn. The guys who made the videos, they've already been investigated, they already went to court, it's all done. Investigation into Acorn? No. How about Van Jones? Is there a case of a bigger story, and at least I grew up, worrying about the communists and the Russians coming over the pole. We reported on an actual communist hired by the White House, a revolutionary. Have you read Storm yet? Please, it's available at glennbeck.com for free. It is the organization that he started in Oakland, California. Storm, radical revolutionaries that pined, actually, of the collapse of the Soviet Union. Radical revolutionaries calling for a violent overthrow of the United States government. We talked about Van Jones and started to explain this on July 23rd. Van Jones didn't resign until September 5th of 2009. 47 days it took the White House to comment. 47 days on Van Jones. Now, it's been a week since we showed you the Black Panther that want to kill white babies. Still no comment from the administration. From the administration that dropped this slam dunk case, not a single comment. All right, so these are the things that are taking suspiciously long. The Obama administration doesn't think they have to move rapidly on war, the biggest environmental disaster of our country's history. Al-Qaeda coming in with an underwear bomber, Acorn and massive corruption, a communist in the White House. Those things, no rush.